been out and about today. I wanted to just check in. Someone left a lovely comment, gave a little compliment, said, "You are so naturally glowy and pretty. It seems so easy for you." And while I thank you for that compliment, I just wanted to something, point something out. First of all, give you some encouragement, right? And I like to keep it a little kind of real over here on this channel. Yes, and this is my design, my little shirt, my little design, my little nasty, kinky, cottony, which I love. Yeah, I'm into radical self-acceptance. I just want to give you some encouragement. First of all, I had a face full of acne and dark marks and scarring. I mean, stuff looking like little, just like big chunks of acne with all that white heads and all that stuff in it. Um, Typically, I would not be considered as pretty, right? And I'm okay with that, right? Just to get some hard-earned life wisdom. I'm not in the space of life, and I'm human, not immune. I have more awareness and some hard-earned life wisdom. I'm not in the space of my life where, how can I put it? My ears and my eyes are different when it comes to seeking validation. All of us like validation as humans. We all want to be accepted, right? To me, groupthink is a very real thing. In spite of how many degrees, how accomplished we are, we like attention. We're a communal species. Though my ears are different, I'm not in the space, to be so moved by the crowd and what everyone is doing. Why? Because it hasn't panned out. And I'm in this space of life where I have made a conscientious choice to align myself with, and I love principles, with the principle of health. So we are all at our most attractive. I don't know if I would say pretty, but attractive when we are healthy, right? And that's with our mood. So some of what you may be picking up on, or what you might resonate with, or that you find attractive, is an energy. I would say I have insecurities like any human, but I would say I have a certain level of confidence uh, that is intentional in terms of accepting myself. Confidence in that context, where I'm accepting my hair. I'm not going to slick it down. I go along for the ride uh, to see what my hair and my skin will do. And I have found consistently that my body, my hair, my skin communicates to me about what it wants to be fed based on results, and that a lot of times it wants to be left alone. I can appreciate makeup. I can appreciate some styles that are permanent relaxers. If it looks beautiful, it looks beautiful. However, that may not be the aesthetic that I choose for myself. So I'm not the hair police. I'm not the food police. I'm into finding what works for me, and I have a litmus test to determine what works for me. And one of them is if I take off a whole lot of stuff, even if that's mascara or whatever it is, and I don't feel good in my skin, that's disconcerting to me. That I find an issue. So for many years, I've had this personal practice and exploration of radical self-acceptance to see how I would feel, knowing I'd get comments from friends, family, clients. If I didn't, I wasn't a big makeup wearer, but if I didn't put on lip gloss, I love mascara, not wear mascara, and basically took off everything, right? It wasn't for other people. It was primarily for me so that I can sit in acceptance of what I have been divinely assigned in terms of my features, what I look like, and all my quote unquote scars. If you look at one of the recent videos that I posted, which I'm calling the Mama Mantra series, because I'm big into quality lyrics and mantras, things that we repeat over and over, affect our subconscious and can trigger different types of feelings. So if we're going to be programmed and triggered, you might as well set the narrative for what is going to trigger you. To trigger yourself to feel good, and not in a way that's delusional or lying to yourself, in a way that is real, where you can feel good about what it is that you have and confident, where you're not feeling like, oh, I need to change everything because this is what's trending, this is what people like. If I don't do this, if I don't put my body parts in harm's way, nobody will choose me. I'm just not in that phase of life. So the person said, it seems so easy for you. Well, it wasn't always easy, and I don't know that it's easy. It's a conscientious choice that in the midst of all the different things that are happening, again, with makeup and palettes and stuff going on in the world, I realize most of the information and the communications coming through these screens, they affect the way that I feel. So I apply a lot of awareness, and I make the effort to practice awareness and check in with my internal dialogue. And I listen, right, to that internal dialogue, that internal intelligence about how I'm feeling, because I also know that how I'm feeling is going to affect my choices in food. It's going to affect whether I am avoidant of taking risks. How I feel is everything. So I dial in to hear how I feel. And I also realize that a lot of the things being marketed to me, and even people that you're having communications with, humans, we project things onto one another, and we affect, one another. It's one woman's experience. If they don't resonate, leave it right here. So with somebody saying I'm pretty and glowy, what you're seeing is health, right? Again, I'm not perfect, but at this point, I'm in absolute amazement that I don't crave all the junk food I used to crave. I was a junk food addict, and so I was on a trajectory to be obese and morbidly and unhealthily obese, and carrying a tremendous amount of unhealthy weight. That is a pattern, a consumption pattern in my family. There are very distinct, specific results and consequences that come with different patterns of consumption. That may not be for everybody, but I can say within my family and within my community, there are distinct patterns. So there's certain things that don't entice me. Alcohol, cigarettes, weed, not knocking anybody that does it. It doesn't entice me. I'm crystal clear on the results. So in an unclogged body, right? And keep in mind, it takes us years to accumulate so much waste that becomes a part of our internal organs that coats our intestines, that's clogging up this large eliminative organ of the skin. For years and years and years, we do things with the body. We have a lot of cognitive dissonance. Like sometimes we're surprised by our skin breaking out, or when finally we reach a tipping point and certain kinds of health conditions show up. I think many of us don't even consider that eating mostly recreationally, this may not be you, this was me, eating a lot of recreational food, it has an effect on the brain and the nervous system. So before we can even get to the muscle, we all like muscle, and before we can get to the pretty skin, we're talking about the control center, the brain, and the nervous system. Why would we expect to be able to be calm, to deal with the stresses and the fright and fear being transmitted through the screen, to make sharp decisions, to have good sleep, if we don't have real food inside the body that the cells, not just the taste buds, that the cells can recognize, which is why I'm so big on greens. It's money for your body. So I just wanted to say that I have made a conscientious decision, and you'll have to do that for yourself, right? It's a journey. It's not for anybody else to say. This is not the space to shame myself, you, or anybody else about where they are in their process. Because I had a Jerry Curl and a gold tooth, and I was a junkie. So, right? And that's just not what I'm about. I can respect other people's food choices, their religion, and where they are on the spectrum, because it's a journey, right? So I've chosen health, and confidence over someone else's, whether it's the entities, or companies that made up ever moving goalpost of so called beauty. I listen for what's coming through the back door and what's the undertone, even though I may see the smiling faces on packages and these advertisements, which are mostly actors. I can listen and discern at this point for what is really being sold to me. Like, I'm not good if I don't have these sneakers, these earrings, this makeup, I won't be chosen. So it really takes something, especially if you're in your teens or your 20s, to not be chosen by the group, to not get chosen for the team. Or if it doesn't seem like, all the guys that are popular. Back when I was coming up, it was light eyes and light skin. If the guys with the light eyes and light skin don't choose you. And so hopefully, perhaps some of what I share on this channel might perhaps help a young flower, or there are also some young men that come to this channel. There are actually some folks that come from different sizes and packages of humans come onto this channel, and I can learn from anyone, right? So I just wanted to encourage you to health, right? To make investments, not to wait until you decide to start a family or until you're in a relationship or until you get out of a relationship to make significant, regular, consistent deposits into the 401k of your physical health, of your mental and your emotional health. And hint, hint, as someone that's been training in fitness and doing coaching for many years, there's a lot of little things, nuances that we may not consider when it comes to what most people would consider weight loss. I would call weight release. If we are in situations and engaging in certain kinds of relating or relationships where we don't feel good, and ultimately it's our life, is our responsibility, I invite you to press pause, even if things have happened to us, even if we've been traumatized. You may be feeling like, oh, I don't have a choice. Yet, choice first starts from the inside. Only you can make a choice and a decision, even if initially your circumstances don't change. Making a decision, making a firm decision, even if you don't know how it's going to happen or how it's going to pan out. But once you make a firm decision to change and to eat healthy, or to no longer allow certain behaviors, or once you decide certain things are no longer acceptable, it's everything. It's huge. So sometimes the first thing is to make a decision. For me, I choose health and confidence over beauty. I have chosen to embrace what is sprouting up out of my head, and I'm not gonna slick it down or whatever. I'm gonna see what it does. I'm going along for the ride. It might be scary. Why would it be scary? But you can be apprehensive when you think, what will people think in a professional setting? But that's other people. I could say honestly, which is amazing to me, I pass by the mirror sometimes and I have a spontaneous smile to myself. And I'm like, wow. I do realize that a lot of the alterations in the makeup, it looks different on screen than it does in real life. And it seems that as humans, many of us are developing a distaste for what we actually really look like in real life. So I like what I look like in real life. And so it may not come across as stage makeup or what other people expect on the screen. So on this channel, I don't have a whole bunch of bright lights. Maybe I have one ring light. A lot of times I don't use it. It's cumbersome to put on a whole lot of makeup. If I wanted to plain little mascara, whatever, something to make up, I might do it. But for the most part, I prize being and value being comfortable in my own skin. That has that is attractive. That is an energy. That's a state of being. That is a mindset. That is something to be cultivated. And you can cultivate that with those three lifestyle practices: a garden therapy for you to relax and to release and commune with. This is reality TV out here. This is reality TV, right? To nourish yourself in a way. There's some ways to nourish yourself that physical food can't do. So garden therapy, your personal movement practice, where you're at 5 a.m., come join me. If you want to build some rock solid confidence, where you're not competing with other people or other women, but to demonstrate to yourself daily, give yourself a tangible example of your own ability to demonstrate tenacity and keeping your word and focus and resilience for yourself. That's your movement practice, in addition to unclogging your arteries, giving your internal organs a massage, stimulating your BMs, all of that good stuff. That's your movement practice. It is deeply therapeutic. You're getting a shot of feel-good drugs from the inside. And then there's your peaceful consumption. Basically, food that loves you back. And what's the litmus test? You'll know by when you touch your gut, you'll know by your energy level, you'll know by your elimination if this food should stay or go. And that is a journey, and a journey of listening. So I just want to encourage you to be hopeful and encouraged, not in a delusional way, not in a way of lying to yourself. If you're making the deposits, if you cultivate and get yourself to a point where you're being consistent with your movement practice, starting some kind of a garden, I'm telling you, some of the deepest therapies that you can enact for yourself that will stay with you for a lifetime and serve you for a lifetime, will give you residual benefits and royalties, if you will, for a lifetime. Your personal movement practice, your garden therapy, and peaceful consumption. Food that loves you back. I mean, it's not clogging your skin. It's not clogging your arteries. And you can make it taste delicious. You totally can. So on that note, y'all create a great day. check out Kwasapeacefull Eating with a K, full like full belly, Kwasapeacefull Eating on TikTok. You can feel free to download Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget. That can short the energy that's waiting for you. And this would not be the time to just be eating only recreationally, right? And I ain't telling no folks what to do. But that is a guide. That is your shortcut. Also, there's Natural Beauty No Products if you want to drop a whole lot of products and focus primarily on the food. My movement practice and sweating every day and my food, that's my number one beauty product. Is health. That is something to make deposits in and to cultivate. Then is your sleep and your rest, right? So you can pick that up on uh, bodyculinary.com. Let's see. And also, if you fill out, if you look in the About section, you'll see the application link for Flower Fit Community coming together to share what you're doing in the garden. I'm sure you'll be inspired by what other women are doing. What you're growing in the garden, positive accountability around the implementation of your movement practice and your fitness aspect of your self-care, and your peaceful consumption. Positive accountability for what you are putting into your divine body temple. Whatever's going in here is going to become a part of your breasts, your brain, your skin, your cardiac muscle, your kidneys. So just eating recreationally is not going to cut it. Nature gives you so many treats, you'll be amazed. You'll be shocked. There's actually no reason to cheat. It's just many of us no longer know how to work with the natural ingredients. And I got some sprouts here. Some lentil sprouts that I'm going to throw with this avocado. And I just got some local lettuce. I'm about to go jazz up on this. So, yeah. I used to be a junk food junkie. I just put these in a recycled container. And now I snap on lentils. And I make delicious pies and cakes. I don't need the agave. I don't need the honey. You can use those, but I don't need them. So it's like such a, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. So sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. If you like the vibe on this channel, you find some value, please share it with some folks that you know could benefit. And comment respectfully in the comment section and subscribe. See y'all soon. Great day.